Republicans, and they're gonna give us their position on the topic of gun control, and then we'll go to the Democrats, and then we'll begin our debate. So you are on.
Hi, my name is Bode. This is Paxton Gray. So, the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. For over 2 centuries, this right has protected America's freedom, security, and ability to resist tyranny. The Founding Fathers did not include the Second Amendment so citizens could hunt deer. They included it so citizens could defend themselves from enemies both foreign and domestic, and from the threat of a tyrannical government. Efforts to ban so-called assault-style weapons not only ignore this constitutional protection, but also fail to address the real causes of gun violence: mental health issues, illegal gun trafficking, and the breakdown of enforcement of existing laws. According to the Department of Justice, the 1994 to 2004 assault weapons ban had no measurable impact on overall gun violence. Instead of punishing law-abiding citizens, we should strengthen background checks, improve mental health access, and enforce existing firearm laws. Gun control doesn't make citizens safer, it makes them more vulnerable.
All right, thank you, and the Democratic position.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah Burbage. This is Brady Couch. Now, I do believe in the right to protect ourselves and our family, but I also believe that right comes with responsibility and limits. Handguns can serve as an important purpose for self-defense, but assault weapons are a different story. These high-powered weapons are designed for warfare, not for our neighborhoods, schools, or streets. Time and time again, assault-style rifles has turned ordinary public places into scenes of mass tragedy, taking dozens of lives in mere minutes. No civilian needs that level of destructive power to defend themselves. By allowing responsible handgun ownership while banning assault weapons, we can respect the Second Amendment and take meaningful steps to prevent mass casualty shootings. It's not about taking away rights, it's about protecting lives.
Okay, 2 great openings. Now, you can rebuttal what they said, or you can start your defense.
Okay, so the Second Amendment guarantees an individual right to own firearms. This right ensures protection not just from crime, but from a tyranny, a principle confirmed by the Founding Fathers and reflected in history. So some historical examples from this, as the Columbia University states, Nazi Germany disarmed the Jews before persecution. Stalin's ban on private gun ownership also enabled genocide. Now, if the Jews or the people were able to defend themselves from the government with so-called, what they say, assault-style weapons, they could defend themselves. Now, with just handguns and these tyrannies going against the people with assault-style weapons, can't really defend yourself as good. So so I believe a armed population is a free population.
So you believe that just because the government can own them, we should be able to own them?
Yes, I do.
So you think since the government should be able to own nuclear bombs, tanks, and stuff like that, should we be able to own nuclear bombs?
I do no, because I think as you look at, you're not allowed to own fully automatic rifles. So
Actually, you're wrong. There was a law that was made in 1986. If the fully automatic rifle was made before, then you can own it. There's
Okay.
strict gun laws about that, so you're already wrong.
okay, so and if you look at now, you have to have a permit to own a fully automatic rifle. Doesn't matter if it was made before 1986 or not. A fully automatic rifle. A AR-15 or what you guys say, AK-47s, if they are made now, are semi-automatic, meaning one pull of the trigger, one bullet is fired. That is the same for a handgun. A Glock 19, anything that's firing, 45 ACP, anything like that, one pull of the trigger, one shot. It's the same fire rate as a AR-15. So
The caliber of the bullet higher though does more damage. And
So,
then-
but do you guys believe you can have bolt action rifles? As you guys, right? You guys believe that, don't you?
We're banning assault weapons.
Assault.
That's all
Well,
we're banning.
most of your hunting rifles, what you guys said, assault style weapons, are chambered in .308, which is almost double the size of .223, which is what an
That's for hunting
AR-15.
purposes.
Yeah,
But it's
You can't
double
have
the
that.
But
size.
he said it's the size of the bullet and the power of the rifle. So
I didn't say power
if
rifle,
they're-
I said size of the bullet.
Yeah, so if they're both semi, what's the difference? Because
Size
you
of
have a
bullets,
bigger
you
one
mean.
for hunting, why can't you have it for?
Assault style weapons are just straight high caliber warfare weapons. No one needs that in their homes, as we said.
Nobody
We
has
need- We need handguns. Second Amendment, we need handguns. I do 100% believe that. But can we get into statistics?
Okay, hold on,
Can we
hold
start
on.
with statistics?
May I-
Why are 73% of mass shootings done? Oh no, hold on. 7 out of 9 of the deadliest shootings in America were done with an assault-style rifle.
Okay.
7 out of 9 of the most deadliest. You can do research on all of those deadly shootings. All of them was done with an assault-style weapons. Why is that? It's because they do more damage. It's
Okay.
because they are a higher caliber and people want to use higher and tougher guns. We do not need those. Just like the government can own tanks and things like that. Now, let's go back to the Constitution. You're talking about the Second Amendment
Yes.
and how you don't want restrictions on our amendments. Our First Amendment, freedom of speech, correct?
Mhm.
Now, if you walk around the streets and you threaten people, that you can get arrested for that. But you have freedom of speech. There's limits on that freedom of speech. Just like you
Yes,
walk around,
but
just like as you walk around the streets and you scream racial slurs at people, you can get
But
arrested for
there's also
harassment.
limits on firearms.
You can get
Okay.
arrested
There's
for
also
harassment.
limits on firearms, though.
You can get arrested for harassment.
There's
There
also
are-
limits on
No, no,
firearms.
no.
and what we're saying is there needs to be more limits, which is banning these assault style weapons. If we already have limits in some places, we can add more limits.
Right, rebuttal?
Okay, so I do agree that we should have more limits. There should be stricter background checks, mental health checks, stuff like that. I believe a lot of our population, or a good amount of our population, should not be able to own a firearm. Correct? And I think you agree with that, Paxton, as well. But it's not the guns issue for most of these mass shootings. So let me find it. Hold on. Okay, here it is. So 57% of our gun deaths are suicide. That's a mental health crisis, and not a firearm one. 87.5% of mass shooters were diagnosed with a major psychiatric illness and were not properly treated. That's a mental health issue and not a firearm issue. It's not the guns that's shooting the people, it's the people. So I do not believe people that have these mental health issues or have these issues should be able to own a firearm.
Alright, now once again.
Or be in the home with the firearm.
Oh, so now you want to say be in the
So-
home with a firearm. So if a parent wants to go buy an assault style weapon,
Mhm.
you're saying because of their kids they cannot have it. But that's not how America is. I'm saying that we just need to ban them because these parents don't have any mental issues and they'll have the gun in their house. 73% of mass shootings are done with a gun legally owned. And that's because of parents. They'll go take it from the parent and then they'll go and shoot up a school or shoot up a high population area.
I do believe that the parents should be at fault for that because, first off, you're not keeping it locked up well. My friend Jameson Dunn, I'm not saying his mother is, I'm not gonna go into it, but, he has to keep it locked up in a certain way, has to have a certain kind of safe, certain all that, because of mental health issues in the house. So that is right now a law. So I do believe a parent should be allowed to own the firearm if, or somebody else in the house. But if there's somebody in the house that has a mental health issue or has an issue like that, it should have to be locked up in a certain way, and there should be more restrictions on it. Yes.
Are you more against the automatic or the power of the rifle?
Assault style weapons.
So
What's automatic? Like, do you care if it's automatic or semi, or is it
All assault style weapons.
So
if a handgun can kill you and a rifle can kill you, what's the difference?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Having guns, we're gonna have murders, regardless.
Yeah,
Why in mass shootings they decide to use these assault style weapons? There's a purpose behind that. There is a purpose because they are more powerful. You see in these high death count mass shootings, they don't just go with Glock 19s and just go kill a bunch of people. No, they use assault style weapons. That's why we're putting a ban
Okay.
to these weapons.
So if we ban assault rifle weapons, and you know that people can still make them, right? So if someone is willing to go shoot up a school, they obviously don't care about the law. So they will just illegally make a rifle, and then what are we gonna defend ourselves?
See, now you're using
Okay.
hypotheticals. You're saying that
no,
these.
it's
No,
not.
no.
I have
I'm
to say right here.
rebuttaling to him. You're using hypotheticals. You're saying that these criminals are going to go make these weapons. We don't know that.
Yeah,
we
we don't.
no, we don't. Because these are kids, high school kids that find a gun in their garage,
Okay.
go get it, and then they go shoot up a school.
So-
now we're making up hypotheticals that they're going to go and build it up.
People can make a gun
They
easily.
can make a gun,
It is not hard
but
enough to
you're acting
What do you
like
mean?
Hold on,
putting
hold
a
on.
ban on these
Okay,
weapons
guys,
isn't going to help.
I wanna hear both sides.
I'll like to say something. 90% of guns used in crime are obtained illegally and not through.
That's false.
According to the U.S. DOJ, you can go search it up right now.
People can
90% of guns used in crimes are obtained illegally and not through legal purchases. The ATF from 2017 to 2021, over 68,000 firearms trafficked through unlicensed dealers were used in over 260 murders. 71,000 ghost guns were seized, which is an unserialized and easily accessible to criminals. Which, if you're a criminal and you want to go shoot something up, you're gonna figure out how to do it.
Now, that's from the Department of Justice?
And that's from the Department of Justice and the ATF. Cities with cities with very, very strict gun control. Chicago, DC, Baltimore have the highest per capita murder rates in all of the country. So you're gonna say these strict gun controls are gonna stop them? Also, timeout. And
Hold on, I have a question
right there.
No, talk about
97.8% of mass shootings from 1950 to 2018 occurred in gun-free zones. All right? So if you arm our civilians and allow them to have what you guys say assault-style weapons or semi-automatic. Okay, time out. What is your definition of an assault-style weapon? What is that? A definition of it? Because that's a political statement and not a legit statement.
ARs, AKs, weapons that you have to hold with multiple hands like this.
So you
stuff like that.
think you put a Glock 19 with a
With a
stock on
exactly.
it
And
and that's an assault-style
felony
weapon?
charge.
That's why that's a felony charge.
But if they're gonna
If
kill them,
it's a criminal's gonna get it anyway.
Exactly, but if you get caught with an assault style weapons, that's a federal charge.
So
That's what we're gonna
you
make
don't
it.
have no. If you're gonna kill multiple people, you could care less about a federal charge. You could care less.
But it's gonna be harder to obtain.
No, it's
And
not.
listen,
No, it's
listen.
not.
And
Okay.
also, we're not thinking about just right now. We're thinking about the future of this country. If we start banning it right now, way down the road, it's gonna be way harder to
Okay.
get an assault style
So-
weapon.
so-
Right or wrong? If we ban it right now, to 100 to 200 years from now, so you think it's gonna be harder to get
Look,
it?
hey, look, so you're gonna let the government, a socialist or totalitarian government, take your
We
guns?
won't have a totality.
That's the first step. Nazi Germany, the Soviet Union with Stalin, the first thing they did was take the people's guns. Once they get handguns, oh, let's take our handguns down. There's still shootings. We're gonna take our handguns down. So now that there's no guns, what are we gonna do versus a
We're not
government that
saying
has
we're gonna have no guns.
But you
you're
know what it's
assuming
said.
what
Okay,
you're doing
let's
is
go.
what you're doing is you're assuming that since they have some, they're gonna
Bode.
take all. That's what you're assuming. Just like they took away automatic weapons with that rule in 1986.
And it
Does that
didn't
mean
do
that
that.
we're gonna be living in Nazi Germany now? No,
It
we're
didn't
not
work.
living in Nazi Germany.
I'm
He's saying
telling you,
it's a
Rebuttal.
step.
So, in 1994 to 2004, that 10 years, there was zero change in the murders with what you guys say assault-style weapons. There was zero change. Taking away these guns is not going to affect criminals. They're still going to get them. They're still going to get them. So, when our government takes away our, what you guys say assault-style weapons, next thing they're going to take is their handguns. Next thing they're taking your rights. That is a Second Amendment right from the Constitution to have that. And once you take that away, you take it over whatever you want.
Okay, you all are doing a fabulous job. Keep going.
Okay, so earlier you were talking about how in Chicago and like all these high population and crime areas, there's way more gun killing, and you're saying it wouldn't work there, gun control. California, would you consider that a high crime and high populated area?
That's a very high populated area. I don't know how the crime is though.
Okay.
I believe
California actually has the best gun control in the whole
Okay.
U.S. And in 2023, they had 8.0 gun death rate per 100,000 people. That's 800,000 people.
Okay.
In 2023, Kentucky ranked at 39, which California completely banned assault weapons. You can only own them with special, like really, it's really hard to obtain them. You can barely get them. In 2023, Kentucky had a gun per death rate of 18.5 people. That's a million less people, and California has such
Okay, so-
higher gun rate. You think a million people is nothing? That's so many people.
I didn't say it was nothing. So if you're gonna take, so what are they getting killed with? Handguns? Were they getting killed with? And how many of those were illegally purchased firearms that were
You're
banned?
ignoring. You're ignoring.
I'm not
the point.
ignoring.
As you see, when they had stricter gun laws, there's less homicides in California when they have a higher population. Kentucky had very loose gun laws, and there's way more homicides and gun deaths.
Okay, you
That
didn't
is
answer my-
just
you didn't answer my
staring
question.
at you in the face.
You
That's a
didn't
great
answer
question.
my
We'll get back to you later.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. Okay, so you're gonna ignore the fact that DC, Chicago, and Baltimore are all some of the have one of the worst crime rates. I bet you, and
There's going to be crime regardless.
You can take guns away.
There's
it's
going to
still
be
gonna happen.
crime regardless. Taking
So
these,
if you-
taking these assault style rifles will help limit it. It will help
It's-
limit it.
okay,
Yes, it will.
so you're taking that-
Even if it's 100 lives, if it's 100,000 lives, and if it's 1,000,000 lives, a human life is a human life, and all human lives in this country matter. No matter
I
what.
agree with that.
If there's gonna be crime, wouldn't you want what's best to protect yourself?
You can protect yourself with a handgun.
So
If-
I'd
if-
rather have an
so-
assault rifle.
someone breaks into your house. Someone breaks into your house. Are you gonna run back to your room to grab a huge AR and shoot them? Or are you gonna reach in your waistband, grab a gun, and kill them on the spot like that?
If you were going into a fight and you had 2 guns to take, would you pick a handgun or would you pick an AK?
I'm picking what is the most,
So what you're saying right now is that they are equal because they both kill. Because
They
you can't
both
tell-
get the job
if
done
this
when
gun
you're
is
trying to
so
defend
powerful-
yourself.
If this gun is so powerful, we need to take it. You should automatically pick that gun. There is no scenario where a handgun is better.
I think what he's saying
You guys
is
literally
if you're
said that
getting
shot
broken
the same
into
rate.
in your house, you grab what's available.
you grab what's available.
Yeah.
If that handgun is available, it's going to do the job.
But your whole argument is mass shootings.
Yes, it is, but you want to talk about what we're going to use to
Okay.
kill someone.
Hey.
If you want to defend yourself, you can have a handgun because that is available, usable, and
If it's equal, then why are we taking another gun?
Okay.
it's
okay,
not
okay.
equal. That's why mass
Hey,
shootings happen with an assault style
Can I
weapon.
talk?
That's literally
Can I
what we're
talk?
saying.
Can I talk?
Okay.
They both get the job done when you're trying to kill one single person.
So criminals are gonna be able to obtain a assault style weapon anyways. Unserialized, black market, all of it. They're gonna get it. So you'd rather have a criminal who, if he wants to go shoot up a place, he's gonna go shoot up a place. Legal or it's obviously illegal, but he's gonna take an AR with him. I mean, are you wrong?
Crime is
So would you rather be fighting a dude that has an AR pointed at you with a handgun? So for example, in 2022, during the Greenwood Mall mass shooting, a man opened fire on the mall. Within 15 seconds, Elijah Dickens drew his gun and dispatched the shooter within 15 seconds of the first shot. If it weren't for this heroic act, the Greenwood Mall shooting would have been ended in a more tragic way. He used a handgun, but imagine how better it would be if we all had assault-style weapons.
You do realize in a mass shooting, okay, let's go back. You said earlier
I-
that, no, let me talk. You said earlier that it's gun-free zones where mass shootings happen,
Yes,
correct?
97%.
Okay, now you're saying, wouldn't you want an AR when you're fighting someone with an AR, correct? You
Yes,
just said
I
that.
would
Now,
much rather
you're in
have
a gun-free zone, someone walks in with an AR, you're not gonna have a gun regardless. So what does it matter if you have an assault rifle with you or if you have a handgun? You're not gonna have a gun
And that's why I don't believe we
regardless.
should
So
have
you're
guns.
literally defenseless no matter what.
I
If those
just said-
assault
I
weapons.
just said we shouldn't have gun-free zones. So
So you're
play
saying
in
everybody's
school-
walking around with an
so
AR-15.
So
Everybody just walks around with an
we can
I
have.
think legally you should be able to, yes.
In school?
So
Yeah,
it's
but I
terrible
believe-
take, terrible.
I
That's a
believe-
terrible
you
take.
never let me finish. I believe if you take teachers who have the correct mental health and correct all of that and arm them, a teacher who's gone through the correct training, all of it, and arm them, I believe, yes, school shootings would be limited. I think there'd be less school shootings if teachers were able to defend.
And if every
the school.
teacher had a handgun, there would be less school shootings.
I believe, okay, handgun or AR, I believe you should have
Okay,
AR.
so that shows that we don't need assault rifles. If they have
But
handguns,
you'd rather have a handgun versus AR?
it would still lower the crime rate if they had handguns and if they had assault style weapons.
Okay,
It would
I'm
still
gonna
lower.
interrupt the debate because I'm curious. Do you both agree that if teachers had a gun, there would be less school shootings?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But they don't need assault style
I think
weapons.
it'd be better if
need
they did,
handguns.
yes. It would be better if they did, yes.
They do the same job. If Dr. Parks is sitting here, someone breaks in, shoots them with a pistol in the head, and they shoot them with an AR in the head, same thing's gonna happen. They're gonna die. Now
AR
you're
does
saying,
a better
now
job.
you're,
AR does a better
you're-
job.
now
It's all
Paxton,
time.
you're saying that they're the same thing.
You
Then why-
just said that.
No.
You quote
You're-
unquote said if they are the same
They're
thing.
gonna get the same job done.
So if they do
So
the
then what's the
same
point of
job,
taking it away?
What's the point of taking it away?
Then why-
They have
If they
to
do the same thing, why take it away?
No. If they do the same job, there is zero reason to take it away.
Then why
Because if
is
I
it-
want to shoot up a school, I can put a switch on a Glock and shoot up a school.
And that's federal case.
Okay.
That's a federal
Okay,
case.
Hey,
Immediate.
hey,
Shooting
hey,
And if you get caught with a
shooting up
switch on a
school,
Glock, that's
me,
federal case.
me. If I get caught shooting up a school, that's worse. I don't care. The people don't care about federal case over the Glock if they're gonna kill people.
You can stop
All
it.
right.
You can
No,
stop it
can't.
before. Yes, you can.
Because all
You
of
can
these
stop
gun
it
deaths
before
are
it gets
coming
that
from
point.
illegal guns. So they don't care. If you're gonna shoot someone, you don't care about the legal gun.
3 and 4 mass shootings are done by a gun owned legally. What are you saying is from a legal
Did
gun?
they take it from their parents or search that up? Hey, okay, time out. So, legal gun ownership, and when you say, you're saying we need fewer guns in general, right? So you're saying,
I'm saying we don't need assault weapons.
so that's fewer guns?
Yes.
Yes.
But they do the same
Legal
job.
gun ownership was up 50%. Homicides are now down 49%. That's the people defending themselves. AR, Glock, whatever. That's the people defending themselves.
If you, no. You keep saying the same thing. I'm saying they will both get the job done in a one-on-one act.
Okay.
Now, I'm talking about mass shootings. If mass shootings, if 7 out of 9, I said this stat earlier, if 7 out of 9 mass shootings with a death count 20 or over, or with an assault style weapon, does that not show that these assault style weapons are meant for high destruction?
Also, handguns are account for over 90% of guns.
You just totally ignored what I said.
Okay, you need to answer his question.
So,
What are you gonna say about what I just said?
So Glock with the switch on it can do the same thing, because they.
But
do
you
the same
see,
job.
they aren't doing it with a switch,
hold
they're
on,
doing
hold
it
on.
with an assault style
You
weapon.
can hold 2 guns.
You got remote?
But it
mag,
hold-
drum mag, all of it.
Listen, you
Hold
still
weight
aren't
around.
answering it. If these mass shootings with a death count over 20, 7 out of 9 are done with an assault rifle, why don't they just use pistols if it's the same case? Because it's not the same
But they
case.
both get the
Those
same
assault style weapons
But-
are meant for high
Okay,
destruction.
now, we've come to, it's gonna be opinion from this point on. Wait just a minute. We
I have
got 3
facts.
minutes before questions. Do you have any more major points?
I have one more major point.
Okay, go ahead.
And you guys also are saying that if we had these teachers carry guns and stuff, it's gonna help all that, and that the teachers need to carry guns to lower school shootings. Why in California is it lowering school shootings and all this, and lowering the deaths per year, the gun deaths per year, when they're banning the weapons, and they have they have stricter laws on assault weapons, and they ban them completely?
Go look at the gang violence and.
Answer the question, why is it lowering?
Gang violence is with pistols. Do you see
Okay.
gangsters running
Listen,
around?
why is it lowering
Would you
it?
not- would you not- can I say what I'm gonna say to this?
No, you have, I want you to answer my question, why is it lowering it?
90% of homicides done with a firearm are from handguns. 90%. That's only 10% are being done from.
Yeah, but the
That
10% kill
that-
so many more people.
that
How many-
The 10% kill millions.
That, no,
That's-
listen.
Then how many is the 90% gonna kill?
That
Then how
10
many is the 90% gonna kill?
90%.
What you're not
90%, that's
understanding.
10% out of our deaths are from assault style weapons.
And how many
What
of
you're
those
not
soldiers are banned?
still, what you're not still understanding, those 10% of people matter. They all matter.
do, but so do 90.
And step by step, yes, those 90 do matter. So what are you saying? We're gonna ban handguns?
How many of those 10% are legal guns? Legal assault rifles? How many? So that even takes off more.
Oh, those lives
The
still
criminals are
matter.
gonna get
And
sick, they don't-
removing
but so do
those
we.
are still gonna help.
We've come to an impasse on this.
Criminals
We need
are
to
gonna
have
get
some
guns
time
anyways.
to ask questions.
All right, questions.
And you guys did a really good job, and I wanna compliment you on the way you kinda kept it under control, but you were very passionate about it. And that's what I was most worried about. Thank you, you did a good job. All right, first question? Joseph.
This is Joseph Moore from Lexington. I'm just for the Republican.
Okay.
How many percent of mass shootings were illegal, like illegal guns?
Illegal guns, I can pull it up right now. Hold on. Give me a second. So 90% of guns used in crimes, is according to the US DOJ, Department of Justice, 90% of guns used in crimes are obtained illegally, not through legal purchase.
He said mass shooting.
74.
Well, me and Joseph both have. Me and Joseph both have the same percent, and it's 74%. So somebody's
Mass
wrong.
shootings are their own category.
Just as many illegal guns
It's
being
90% of
Somebody's
gun
wrong.
used in crime.
It's not a different category.
We're in an impasse on the statistics, if you've got two different things.
90%.
Illegal, so according to US DOJ, in 2019, 90% of guns used in crimes are obtained illegally.
What does that mean to you, Ash?
Gun crimes in general.
Mass shootings
That's
are their own
80% of weapons used in mass shooting have
They're
been
not.
purchased
Gun
illegally.
crime
Okay,
falls in that
but
category.
check the
Got it,
what
got
percent
it.
of that are people taking it from their parents or people
It
that
says-
live
It's still legally owned, it doesn't
It
matter.
says
not to them.
75 to 85% have involved firearms obtained illegally. I don't.
Okay.
It didn't say
Legal.
anything about
Okay.
it.
That's all that matters. Legally.
It says through licensed dealers.
License and legal.
So is that
That's
person
all that
purchasing
matters.
it?
What?
Is that person purchasing it or taking it from and that's mass shootings?
Yes.
Okay.
All that matters is legally.
Okay, but I'm still, so you, okay, so the person.
That's statistic thing, but we're not.
I'm just saying, I haven't completed this, so.
Okay.
All right,
Pick somebody.
Alright, my name is Matthew, and I'm from Lexington, and I have one for the Democratic position. If the Second Amendment protects the right to bear arms, how far should the government be allowed to limit that right? Like, are you just saying just keep handguns, or are
We're
you saying
saying-
all guns should be gone?
No, we are not saying.
We're saying only assault weapons.
We're saying we should still have the right to bear arms.
That's a good word, okay.
We deserve that.
We're not taking away bearing arms.
We're
Only assault
banning
weapons.
assault style weapons because those just aren't needed. Like we said, time and time again, they turn public spaces into scenes of tragedy.
I'd also like
I also have a follow-up question.
Okay.
And, okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
And then what's the best way to reduce gun violence without hurting people's ability to defend themselves? Like with engaged.
They, like we said, they can still defend themselves with hands. They still can.
Yeah,
So,
take away from
like,
the
hand,
gun.
just take away.
Good question.
Hey, listen.
Thank you.
Good job.
We pick Maddie Jenkins.
Maddie?
Maddie, this is and my question, is for the Republican. So how would you explain the fact that a 2004 University of Pennsylvania study conducted for the Justice Department explained that the use of assault weapons in crime declined by 70% 9 years after the assault weapons ban took effect? How would you explain that?
Okay, but I can pull it up right now. So, and the DOJ also reported the 1994 to 2004 ban, which is what you're stating, right, had no effect on any type of assault weapons at all. So I don't know where you're getting yours from. But
That is
From the
And that's also from
Mine-
2000.
mine's
U.S.
from-
Senate Committee on the Judiciary.
Oh, so I wonder.
Okay, mine's on Department of Justice. So
Okay, once again, it's a conflict.
I can pull it up right
All
now.
of your statistics.
My
that's-
statistics-
all
you
the
can check on my
statistics, all
mouth.
the
I should
statistics
say
that
my
this
mouth.
side
Yelling
has.
to the crowd.
No, talking to the crowd is how you win debates. That's not how
Okay,
politicians do.
but-
All the statistics that this side has is getting countered by other statistics that you all have in the crowd.
We can say the
And that's
same
why we
about
vote
yours.
on
It's
how
just-
well they
it's-
debated,
I would
not upon.
also like to say,
the, all right, couple more, yeah.
I do believe so. If you do look at, and you guys chose to ignore this, 97.8% of our shootings were in gun-free zones, correct? And that is true. Schools, malls, wherever. So those shootings, I believe, if you have armed civilians on property who can open carry whatever, like in Texas, you can open carry assault-style rifles wherever you want. I believe that a lot of those would have been stopped with civilians.
Dr. Park.
Dr. Parks.
Okay, Jerry Parks, Lexington, Kentucky. Question for the Republicans. Is your issue with the assault-style weapons the fact that they are so violent, they cause so much damage, or the fact that if we allow them, we're opening the door for worse things to be permitted down the line?
I believe, wait, restate your question, sorry.
Is your problem with the weapons themselves because they are violent weapons?
Okay.
Or is it with the fact that if we allow them, what else are we gonna start allowing happen that could really be a chain reaction and cause an awful lot of things that shouldn't happen?
I mean, I do think that if you take away our assault style rifles, that's gonna lead to taking handguns next, taking
Okay.
really your rights next. Because I believe that's the main way for you to defend yourself. And I believe against a tyrannical government, which is my biggest argument, which is against the government, which we've seen in the past from other places, that if you
Can you name some of those places, please?
I have
Nazi Germany. That's
Nazi Germany, Soviet Union under Stalin. So first thing I did was take the guns, and I believe from there you can infringe on your rights and all of them. So
Okay.
I believe that takes your freedoms away, and I think that is a constitutional right to own a firearm. So
For a rebuttal,
There it is.
they are talking about it happening like in bad places in the past or something. So Italy also has very strict gun laws, and the population in Italy is increasing. People are loving Italy. It is a great country. People love that country. Just like Japan, they also have strict gun laws, and the death homicide rate. Australia. The homicide rate is way down.
Australia. Like, have you not seen the crime, the knife violence there? Same as the
That's not a
UK.
gun, and
Yeah,
that's
this is
not
not
a
a
gun.
gun.
I'm
What are you
saying
trying
if you
to
take the
say?
guns, you're still gonna be violent.
What are you trying to say?
If you take the guns, you're still gonna be violent.
Yes, because they're
A
sitting
criminal's
there,
gonna
they're
get it
gonna be
anyway.
violent regardless.
A criminal's gonna
Adam
get it anyway.
and Eve took the bite of the apple, sin entered the world, so there's still gonna be violence.
So, I mean,
That was pretty.
All right, we've got time for two more questions. Whose pick is it?
I think it's our pick.
Okay.
William, no question. Y'all can pick.
Marsh.
Okay.
I have a question for the Republican. I'm Caleb Marsh. I'm from Lexington. I have a question for the Republican position. And the U.S. gun rate, guns are allowed in Italy. They have very strict regulations. The U.S. gun rate death is 4,070% higher than Italy. How do you respond to that?
Look at population in Italy.
This
No, this is
percentage,
just
not population.
percentage,
That's
not
just-
population.
Is this per capita?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do believe, and I've stated this, we need to have way stricter background checks, way stricter like mental health checks. I think our background checks, yes, should be stricter. But I believe, and I think I'd much rather live in America other than Italy, right?
Yeah.
But I think that criminals, and with how many guns are already in the U.S., criminals are gonna get it anyways. If you take them, they're gonna build them. There's parts to build them. Unserialized, you know what I mean? The government does not know about tons of guns that are in the U.S. So I think it's almost impossible to take away our guns, and that's one of the reasons I believe that we should not take away our civilians and people that own guns, because once those criminals got them and the civilians don't, how are you gonna finish up?
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes.
So what was the percentage of mass shootings that occurred with illegally obtained guns?
Yeah, I got you. Mass shootings, I don't have a mass shooting.
74%. Okay.
Okay.
You say there's
But
so
90, so with illegal, but okay.
you say there's so many like illegally obtained guns
Yes.
guns in the U.S., but while 74% of mass shootings are
Legally
obtained
obtained?
with legal guns.
So according to the U.S. DOJ, in 2019, 90% of guns using crimes in general.
That's just
What crime's different than a mass
we're
shooting?
talking about mass
What?
shootings, not crime.
I'm just talking about gun crimes in general. So you're talking about mass shootings?
Mass shootings.
I believe those could have been stopped by people that are armed with AR-15s, yes, or any assault style weapon.
Do you have a rebuttal to that? No? Okay.
Maddie.
Last question,
So-
I hate for this to end.
Actually, right here, according to the Department of Justice, researchers noticed that there was a decline in crimes committed with firearms classified as assault weapons.
Say it again.
According to the Department of Justice, researchers noted there was a decline in crimes committed with firearms classified as assault weapons
Okay.
during that ban.
Yes,
Which
okay.
is which proves wrong what you said about the Department of Justice earlier.
Is it the
What's
same
the
time
question?
period?
You're talking about
Yeah.
the 1994 to 2004?
Yeah.
I'll search that for you right now.
I mean, she just searched it
I
up.
just.
Can you get to your point instead of searching?
I'm
Yeah.
saying there
We're kind of
was
debating
zero
right now.
change.
Go to your pencil, put them out.
All right, while she's looking it up, we're gonna cut, now we're asking for questions. One thing to leave us with to support your position, we'll start with the Democrats.
Alright. All these facts and statistics that we have shown today prove that gun control has not taken away rights, but it's saving lives. And if we have stricter gun control, the gun deaths per year would lower, which has shown in America, such as states as California. People are still going to get killed by guns. You can't just make them disappear overnight. But you can definitely keep more guns off the streets, out of schools, and out of public spaces where they create mass destruction, and the data shows that states with stricter gun control have lower gun death rates a year. Thank you for listening.
Well stated.
Okay.
All right, and a rebuttal.
So the Second Amendment isn't just about firearms, it's about freedom. History shows us that disarmed citizens lose liberty and safety. The data proves that the 1994 assault weapons ban failed, that crime is driven by illegal guns, and that armed, law-abiding citizens prevent violence every day. Gun control punishes the law-abiding while empowering criminals. Instead of stripping rights, America should enforce existing laws, strengthen background checks, and expand mental health care. Our right to bear arms is a non-negotiable. It's the foundation of our liberty and security.
All right, now before we vote, if you want to vote, that's what a debate should look like. That's what a debate should look like. They were very passionate about it. For the most part, they kept it under control. They stopped and gave the other person a chance to say what they wanted to say. That was awesome. That was awesome. Do you care if they vote?
Yeah, they can vote.
They can vote? All right, now, not whether you agree or disagree with the topic, but who won the debate? How many would say the Democrats won the debate? Raise your hand.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you only have one vote against two others.
Well,
That's
how about the
24 more.
Republicans? Can we give them both a hand? You guys gave me goosebumps. That was